All right. Gangstar flashback. Shout out to Gangstar. Welcome to No Nonsense Market Domination. I am David Wilson, Business Savage. We are here on the No Nonsense Market Domination pre-show. As you can see at the bottom, No Nonsense Market Domination pre-show. We are getting ready for the show to go live. We are going to be live in about 14 minutes. Going live in about 14 minutes. We're going to do all of our checks now. Make sure everything is cool. If you've not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, you kind of know what's going on. So we have some laughs, funny things happen, getting our notes together. Kind of gives you a behind the scenes look at what goes on behind the scenes. If that makes sense. All right. So we're going to be making sure everything is right, what have you. So welcome. Today's show is going to be about networking, which is what our season is about. Our season about network like a savage. That is our theme. And we are going to be talking about today what you need to stop doing when you're networking. Stop doing when you're networking. Okay. We're going to talk about networking in person. We're going to talk about networking on Zoom or whatever. There's a lot of other whatevers out there. And we're also going to talk about networking with the keyboard, networking in messages specifically on LinkedIn, about 13 minutes to live. So make sure, gotta check. You type in your comments there. Arthi Moore, shout out from South Africa. That's beautiful. Arthi, thanks for joining. Appreciate that. And congratulations, by the way. It's big news. We heard. So big congratulations out to you. Yes. So a couple checks here. You're going to see me go in and out from avatar. So here's my avatar. If you are unfamiliar with this platform, if you see this, that just means that I'm here, but I'm not. You can't see me. And that's what's going to happen when we go live on IBGR. So right now, I do want to say a big shout out to everyone watching out there on Facebook. So we are now broadcasting live on Facebook, All Things David Wilson's Facebook page, IBGR's Facebook page, the Business Savage Facebook page, which is DW the Business Savage, and the regular David Wilson Facebook page. So thank you all for joining us live there. Also, we are live on YouTube, IBGR's YouTube page, and All Things David Wilson on YouTube. So if you're watching there, welcome YouTubers. The law firm of Periscope Twitter. We are live there. So if you are watching there on the scope, welcome. And it looks like we got Tianya holding it down for our Twitchers on Twitch. Yes, we are on Twitch. We're trying to be, we're like, if you remember that cartoon, Savoir Faire is everywhere. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so we're trying to be everywhere, or at least most places, right? So about 10 minutes to live. Let's see. Definitely type in your comments. Make sure throughout the show, let me know that that you're there with me. You know, put some flames in there. The Business Savages. I guess those are they all emoji? Like everything is an emoji, right? It doesn't have to be a face. So I usually use the flame, the brown biceps, and the brown guy with the suit on. So those are my. So if you shoot those into the comments and let me know one, you're still watching, right? But also that you like what you're hearing and whatnot. That'd be awesome. So definitely appreciate that. What you see when you see me looking this way, I'm looking at our clock. So we're on a strict timer. When I go live, so I go live at a very specific time, and it's very we make it look like buttered toast here at IBGR. But you're behind the scenes, so you're going to be able to see me sweat and squirm and whatnot when challenges occur. Okay, so I was just informed by the Peanut Gallery that emotes are on Twitch. So Twitchers, if you want to emote with me on Twitch, that'd be great, and you can use all those emotes, and that'd be awesome. All right, so let's see. I'm going to be muting in and out just because we're checking sound. Bear with me, and we'll be back and forth. All right, sounds pretty good. Got the word from downtown that the sound is good. So it's pretty awesome to do an actual radio show. We do every radio show that we do at IBGR. So you're watching me. You're watching me do a pre-radio show. Once we go live, we're going to actually be on the radio. So IBGR.Network is a radio station. It is an internet radio station, and it is you have the ability to watch as we go, as we are on. So that's very cool. But then you can listen to IBGR.Network just like you're listening to the radio. So that is definitely very cool there. And we have about 6 minutes to live, and we'll get some folks seen out here. Thank you for the comments. Definitely appreciate that. Yep, good comments there. Absolutely. It's definitely a pleasure, Arthur. Definitely a pleasure. And here's our IBGR network. Yes. All right. Do we get everyone? Awesome. All right. Let's see. About 5 minutes to live. All right. We're all set, I think. We are all set. I will announce here as well that our show is brought to you by NutriChamps. NutriChamps is where I get all of my savage nutrition. That's how I keep healthy, keep going. That's how where I get my vitamins and supplements and what have you. I'm going to put into the chat. If you go to NutriChamps.com, use the code TheSavage1, TheSavage1. Get discounts, and you can get free stuff at NutriChamps. Go check these guys out. They have just about any supplement you can think of that helps with various ailments. Your basics, vitamin C, vitamin B, as well as some very specific supplements and minerals for weight training, supplements and minerals for weight loss, different things like that. So, all right, we got about 3 minutes to live. So right now I'm listening to the live broadcast on IBGR. Bill Eastman's show is wrapping up. So once he's done, we're going to go to a couple commercials on the radio station, and then we're going to come back to me where we go live. And then there's just going to be like this big production for the intro, and then we'll go live with the show. So, and then Bill, this show will end in about 2 minutes. When it ends, right before it ends, we're going to go to Avatar, but you'll still be able to hear what's going on behind the scenes. So that's what we want. And then we're going to have some fun. So give me your comments, give me your remotes, give me your emojis. If there's it's like deer. I don't know. Is it like deer? So it might be like deer. Like it's not deers. It's deer. It's not emojis. It's emoji. I don't know. Somebody type that in because I don't know. I just got a MySpace account, so I'm just kind of a little bit behind. Okay. All right. Everything sounds good. Everything looks good. I'll make sure we are connected to downtown. And I think we're all set. All right. We're going to go to Avatar, and we will be ready to launch into the show. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining everyone here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, Twitter, on Twitch. Thank you so much. And we go to Avatar now and prepare for live. Prepare for live. All right, 1:30. 90 seconds to live. 90 seconds to live. Steve, we're good. Yeah, I did forget. I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce you. But I'll introduce you on the radio. I promise. Even though I didn't get to you on I will. Yes. You can't quit. Where are you going to go? No one else will hire you. Oh, our time's off. So I guess we are about 2 minutes to live. Sorry. 2 minutes to live. That's why I need you. Okay. No, 2 minutes to live. All right. 20 seconds to live. Let's have a good one. It is time. It is time for roll call. So, world, stand up for roll call. Nairobi, Kenya, stand up. Bogota, Colombia, stand up. Auckland, New Zealand, stand up. Tokyo, Japan, stand up. And last but not least, Neptune, New Jersey, USA. Stand up, because we are ready to change the world. So say my name, Savvy. Let's go. David Wilson, Business Savage here. Welcome to No Nonsense Market Domination on IBGR.Network. Having a bit of technical difficulties here. Just bear with me for one moment and we'll be right back onto the broadcast. Technical difficulties. But as always, we will forge ahead. So we are back on track now. All right, so that ate into pretty much all of my first segment. But we actually did that on purpose, no problem, to show you how resilient we as entrepreneurs are on IBGR.Network. All right. Let me stop dilly-dallying because this segment will be over lickety-split before we know it. All right. So we'll figure out what's going on and what was going on there. But it happens, right? This is live radio, live television. Thank you to everybody who is listening on IBGR.Network. Thank you for returning listeners. Thank you for new listeners. So definitely appreciate you. And thank you to Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch for being on with us live visually. So thank you so much. Okay. All right. Never let them see you sweat, right? No problem at all. Please stop doing this. Please stop doing this when you're networking. That's the name of the show. We're in season 4, Network Like a Savage, and we want to get to the things we need to stop doing. Please stop doing these when we're networking. It's a good thing this segment was a lot shorter than the rest of the segments because I didn't need that much time anyway. All right? Because at the end of the day, the savvy shift that we're going to talk about in this segment is very simple. The mistake that most people make when networking and when connecting, period, right, is that they make it about themselves. They make it, the focus is wrong. So the focus is about them. and the focus has to be about the other person, right? And the funny thing is, before we cut out and go to commercial, the funny thing is most of us, myself included, so we're all guilty of this. We kind of think, oh, people care about what we do. People care about what we do. People care about who we are, but they don't yet. They don't yet, and that's the challenge. So if we're going to shift anything, shift to that. The rest, work in progress. We'll make it work. No big deal. But we still need to focus on the two things that should be in our head at all times: give, and I'm just trying to help. Give, and I'm just trying to help. So as we go into break, we will be coming back and talking about what we need to stop doing on Zoom or whatever. So Zoom or whatever just means Zoom or whatever other product that's out there. So virtual networking, what we need to stop doing. So I will be back on No Nonsense Market Domination on IBGR.Network right here in about 2 minutes. We'll see you on the other side. Save. About 2 minutes. We'll see you on the other side. All right. So I have no idea what happened. And this is it's one of those things where we're all working together here. Things happen, and it is live on the show before. One of the things that makes radio great is that it's live, right? One of the things that makes radio perilous is that it's live. So things can go wrong live that don't go wrong taped. So if that happens and we're taping it, then we just retape it. We just re-record it. If it happens now, though, there's not a heck of a lot we can do, and it's very, it's very. I believe in controlling the controllables. We'll figure out what happened and why it happened, and we'll do our very best to make sure it doesn't happen again. But I don't know. I don't know what happened, and I may not be here next week for you to hear me anyway. So so who knows? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last show. It's been a pleasure being a host on IBGR.Network. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm kidding. I might not be, right? Okay, so I'm kind of. We had a microphone failure, and again, I don't know what happened. So I'm a little bit misplaced now. So I just need to kind of readjust everything. Kind of changes the dynamic of the show, but we're going to do our best to hang in there, right? Okay, let's go. We're about 20 seconds to live. Back on track. Let's do it. No problem. Oh boy. All right. Welcome back, David Wilson, the Business Savage. Welcome back to No Nonsense Market Domination here on IBGR.Network, Profit Radio. No matter what stage of business you are in, whether you are pre-startup or startup, whether you are growth into hockey stick growth, whether you are nice and steady, company's moving great, or you want to buy a big old yacht and sail it backwards around the world after you sell the company. Doesn't matter what stage, we are here to help you. We are entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. Come grow with us. So welcome back. Thank you. All right, we're back on track now. No big deal. We are agile. That's what we do here at IBGR.Network. Make sure, before we go forward, make sure you get the app, the IBGR app. You can go to your favorite app store. There's only two, I think, right? It's like Apple. I don't know if there's more, but you have Apple and then you have Android. Just go there and search for IBGR and download the app and get this. You can listen to IBGR anywhere you go. Any of the on-air talent you can listen to, learn about sales, networking, marketing, operations, accounting, IT. Or you can listen to me as well, and you'll learn a whole bunch of stuff, I guess. Okay, so please stop doing this when you're networking is the title of the show, and we're going to be focusing in segment 2, this one, on Zoom or whatever. So Zoom or whatever. Zoom seems to be the big platform that everybody's on to have their online virtual meetings and such. The whatever. It's like Google Meet, and then there's like some others. There would be like McDonald's, Burger King, and then some others like White Castle. And there may be some good ones, but those are the major ones, right? So we're focusing on what you need to stop doing in these meetings. So, Steve, where's our questions? Because I know we have questions. Okay, good. I just want to make sure, because we have questions that came in germane to each segment. One of the things one of the best pieces of advice I gave to myself initially, and that I began to give to everyone else, is making sure that your software, whatever software you're using, is updated. Maybe not so much right before the show, but if you know you're going to have Zoom meetings today, let's say, get to the office early and just make sure you run a quick update for an update for the show, an update for the software rather, and then that way you're up to date. I have seen many of these many of the perils on Zoom were due to a missed update. So that's something simple we can do. So stop not updating your program, right? Okay. Now, before we continue, so this is meant to be edutational. Remember, so we're educating you, but we're also entertaining you. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this. There's seriousness in what we're doing, but there's also fun, right? Here's some more. We're gonna keep going with the tips. Some of them are going to be like very, very businesslike and very, very straight-laced. And then other ones are going to be like crazy, but they all have happened, right? We've all been in a situation where you hear you're muted, right? Make sure you understand how to use the software. Test it out. Make sure you know where the buttons are. Make sure you know what it looks like when you are muted. Make sure you know what it looks like so that people can hear you. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh yeah, why don't you pay attention to what it seems like, what it sounds like, so people can hear? Yeah, okay, that's cool, and that's funny because I have a sense of humor. But I'm holding the mic right now. I'm holding the mic. So now that we're back on track, you don't heckle the guy with the mic. Okay. Make sure you understand how to use your controls. Make sure you understand where your buttons are, how to mute, how to unmute. Sometimes you can unmute by pressing the space bar. Sometimes you can't, and it just depends. Make sure you are in a place where you can be. So stop being in places where you either can't be or shouldn't be on a meeting. I think you should stop having meetings in the bathroom if you can at all help it, right? You should probably stop doing that. Okay. Now there are backgrounds you can use on your Zoom meetings. You should do that. Just keep in mind that things can enter and kind of exit from the background. So, if Fuzzy the cat, if you're trying to keep Fuzzy the cat out of the shot, Fuzzy the cat can get in the shot if Fuzzy the cat gets close enough to you, right? So Fuzzy, this meeting is not for you. So no good for Fuzzy. Worst case scenario, and this is stuff that we've seen. My goodness, we have seen this in school Zooms, right? School Zooms where a little kid is just trying to learn, trying to learn ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and next thing you know, a very inappropriate person passes behind you in the Zoom, and this goes. Now, you can't blame the little kid for the parent, caregiver, the mom, dad, whoever, not realizing, I don't know, that a computer is on and the kid is sitting in front of the computer and is trying to learn something on Zoom. But we're different. So we are adults, and we need to be able to, we should have more control over kind of where we are and what's going on behind us. So if you're looking at my broadcast right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you can see what's behind me. What's behind me is very intentional. So I have 3 copies of the book I wrote, I Hate Networking Events, which is available at IHateNetworkingEvents.com or on Amazon. Thank you. Endorsed by the father of modern networking and the founder of BNI, Dr. Ivan Misner himself. So thank you again for that. And I have a quote behind me, and it's intentionally placed. Now, I didn't start there. I had, I think when I first started, I had like something that I wrote by hand, and it was kind of terrible. So, but now it looks like something. So it's a good place to display your wares. If you sell whatever you sell, maybe a logo. So do that. The last thing we'll leave you with, and this is kind of, I was listening to a show on the radio about teachers and what they're going through right now, and with the students who log in, but they don't turn their video on. They don't turn their video on. They don't turn their mics on, but they're there. They're in class. And the lady who was talking, one of the teachers, was saying, yeah, there's a lot of anxiety. Kids are shy. Kids are having a very hard time adjusting to that environment, and that's certainly understandable. The context for us as business owners is very different, though, than the context for students. And what we have to make sure we're doing, so the black box does not work for us as business owners. So we have to stop doing that. Please stop not turning your video on. Please stop that. Because that is unfortunately the only way we can engage. Sometimes that's the only way we can engage. And it's because we're not in person yet, right? We're not in person yet. We're not back in person yet. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show. But yeah, that's it. Turn your video on. I think sometimes we don't turn our videos on because of maybe where we are or how we're dressed. And this leads me to a question that came in from Lacey. And Lacey said, well, how should I dress when I'm on Zoom? My rule of thumb is simply this. Dress on Zoom like you would dress in person. Dress on Zoom like you would dress in person. And if you wear a suit in person, wear a suit in Zoom. I mean, can you get away with half a suit on Zoom? Yes, I guess. And don't stand up. Don't stand up. But and I know before you write in, I have on a full suit, so it's full. It's full. Whatever reps your brand, that's what you should be wearing on Zoom. That's what you should be wearing on Zoom. So if logo wear reps your brand, rep your brand that way. If a suit, a blouse, a dress, a skirt, a pantsuit, whatever reps your brand, then that's what you should be wearing on Zoom. All right. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about what we need to stop doing on LinkedIn, and in messages. So via the keyboard. So thanks for joining me, David Wilson, on No Nonsense Market Domination, Business Savage. We'll see you on the other side. Savvy. Okay. All right, that was a pretty good. That was a good segment, and we will get into some good stuff in the next segment about LinkedIn. Okay. Good. All right. Shout out to who we have. Brandon's on. Welcome, Brandon. All right, welcome, Susan. That's great. Awesome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for jumping on. Nairobi, Kenya is in the house. Awesome. That is wonderful. So thank you. Thanks for joining me here on IBGR. If you are wherever you are watching, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, Twitter, or on Twitch, thank you very much. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments. Give me some flames, give me some waves, what have you. I appreciate you all jumping on and commenting and being part of this journey with me as I figure out what happened to my mic. I'm really, really, really upset about that, just because when you put so much preparation into something, and there's the margin for error is so slim. And a lot of times, there's always a lesson, and the lesson is, the takeaway is that's kind of what business is about. So I'll get over it. I'm disappointed, but I will get through it. So no big deal. I'll cry off camera, right? No, just kidding. All right, let's see. Some people take pictures of themselves up before the meeting and upload it as a profile picture. When they turn off their camera, they look like they're still there. Okay, so check this out. Some people take pictures of themselves right before the meeting, then upload it as their profile picture. So when they turn off their camera, they look like they are still there. Wow. I'm going to share that on the air. Hold on. We got 15 seconds to live. All right, welcome back. David Wilson, No Nonsense Market Domination. I am the Business Savage. Welcome to Network Like a Savage, Season 4. of No Nonsense Market Domination. And today we are talking about what we need to stop doing. So please, please, please stop doing this when you are networking. Interesting comment came in from, I believe that's Anoint Ashore. Anoint Ashore says, some people take pictures of themselves right before the meeting, then upload it as their profile picture. So when they turn their camera off, they look like they are still there. That is ingenious. That is ingenious. I never would have thought of doing that. I honestly never would have thought of doing that, and that is pretty gangster, actually. But please stop doing that in Zoom. Please stop doing that in Zoom because obviously you're not present. I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you, and we welcome your comments anytime we can get them on the air here. And anytime we can get them on the air, we will get them on the air. So that is cool. And this is live radio. This is live television. It kind of reminds me of that episode of The Honeymooners when Ralph and Ed were doing a commercial. This is live television. And yeah, well, anyway. Please stop doing this when you're networking on LinkedIn. Okay, that's our segment now. So messaging and LinkedIn. I think that kind of going back to what I said. Well, I don't even know who heard me, but in the abbreviated first segment was we need to stop thinking that people really care what we're doing, who we are, or anything like that, until we give them a reason to, and that's really the key. That nobody cares until we give them a reason to, and if I'm pretty, when I'm conversing with people about connecting and networking, and we're going over their, let's call it an intro or an elevator pitch, or an elevator pitch is a little bit different than a connection, because a connection is a little bit more, needs to be more focused on, remember, what's more focused on what's in it for me. So what's in it for the person to whom you're speaking. And I actually get quite a kick out of looking at some of the connection messages I get on LinkedIn. And I get all kinds of stuff on LinkedIn, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to share some of those with you, because you really, really should stop doing this on LinkedIn. You should stop doing this on LinkedIn. So I very often get messages like, wow, we have a lot of people in common on LinkedIn. And if so, here's how this game is played, right? If the answer is who cares right after that, then we need to stop doing it. Like, so we have a lot of people in common on LinkedIn. Ready? Everybody shout it out. Who cares, right? Who cares? Because it's not focused on what's in it for the person. Then I get some messages like this. I looked at your profile and it looks really, really interesting. Come on. Are you shocked? Now, okay, this is going to sound terrible, but my profile is pretty interesting, right? It's pretty interesting as far as LinkedIn profiles go, but you got to do better than that. You got to do better than having an interesting profile to make me want to connect with you. Here's probably the worst you-focused thing you can say to someone, and this is so bad that they don't even get music, right? They don't even get music for this one. Hi, I'm trying to build my network, and I want you to be part of it. Are you serious? Now, that's a big blinking underscored everybody. Who cares? I don't care if you're trying to build your network and you think my profile's interesting and you think you want to let's jump on a Zoom. Jump on a Zoom for what? So I can look at a black box or you can have somebody running behind you with a cat on your shoulder. No, we're not doing that. No. Right. And look at this. Yes. So from the peanut gallery, anoint a shore. That's like, you must be tired because you've been, let's do this right. You must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day, right? It might as well be that. It might as well be that. Absolutely. All right. So if you haven't figured it out, stop doing all of that. And I'm telling you, I have these in my inbox right now. If some of you, I hope not, but some of you may be listening, put them in my inbox. Right? I don't know. Here's the shift. Okay, here's the savvy shift. Because we are focusing on results. We're focusing on positive change here on No Nonsense Market Domination. It's no different. Because remember, all we're doing, give, and I'm just trying to help. I know as a person on LinkedIn with a LinkedIn profile that people are going to be reaching out to me, wanting to connect to me, wanting to offer me things, wanting to give me things, wanting to connect, wanting to build relationships, all of that stuff. Okay, I know that. Give me a reason, though, to connect with you. Give me a reason to want to be connected with you, right? And that's the what's in it for me. So whenever we're connecting people to people and people to solutions, the way I teach it in the no rejection connection is funnel it down to what? A yes or no question. Would that make sense? We want to be thoughtful, we want to be helpful, and we want to be respectful. I thought of you because I think I have something that may be able to help you in your business, but I didn't want to just assume that I could help you without running it by you first. Sure, what do you have? I work for ABC Company, and we work with funding companies like yours to provide X to their business clients. I was wondering if you'd like to set up a meeting, jump on a call to get more information about our service. Now, question mark. Good, bad? That's great. That's perfect. I don't mind getting messages like that. Now, I may say, no, that's not, I appreciate you reaching out, but no, that's not a good fit for us right now. I might say, you know what, I'd like to get more information about that. I appreciate you reaching out. Let's set up a 15-minute call. But I'm not going to ignore that message because it's intentional. It clearly shows the benefit. It clearly shows the benefit, and it clearly shows what they want. So I don't mind doing that, right? I don't mind doing that. So it kind of speaks to the question that Sean asked. What should I say in a LinkedIn connection message? Well, Sean, something like that. It needs to be focused on what's in it for the person. Not, oh, wow, your profile picture is cool. Not, oh, wow, now, here's what it could be. There are certain affinities that we have. So I saw this before the show when I logged on. And that's probably why my mic was messed up, because I logged on to LinkedIn and they hear me talking about them, right? So, and they wrecked my show. It's somebody from my alma mater, Monmouth University. So there's a good chance he's reaching out to me because we have that in common. Is that a little bit different? I think that's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit different as opposed to we have so many connections in common. We both know John Doe. We both know Jane Doe. And based on my work with her, and there may be a good reason for us to connect. That might be something that I look at. I'll leave you with this before we go to break. I recommend putting something in the box, not just reaching out to connect with no message. Okay, definitely put a message. Put a message in the box, because that helps you to stand out from everybody else. What segment is this, Steve? The third segment, right? Okay, so we're going to fourth segment. So we'll be back. We're going to talk about please stop doing this in person on No Nonsense Market Domination. I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. We will see you when we get back to wrap the show up. Savage. All right. Awesome. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Imperium 42 on Twitch. Welcome. Appreciate that. Let's see. We got a whole bunch of right now. Here's the thing. So the person was smiling for like 5 minutes, like, oh, that's a shame. That's crazy. All right. Here's another question that came in from Anoint, the question asker of the day. Should we leave voice messages like Jimmy from LinkedIn? Should we leave voice messages like Jimmy from LinkedIn? The thing about Jimmy from LinkedIn, Google it if you want to know Jimmy from LinkedIn, okay? But that's a real thing. I mean, it's kind of real. It's not really real, but it does happen. It does happen. Should you leave voice messages? I think that if you do, it should be with intent, with a purpose. It shouldn't be, I saw you accepted mine. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. That's creepy. But what you can do is say, I really appreciate you connecting with me on LinkedIn. And I wanted to reach out to you and actually leave a voicemail so that you had my contact information, just to make sure it didn't get lost, in the LinkedIn fog, right? I'd love to schedule a meeting with you. Thanks for connecting with me. Here's my direct line, and we can do it that way. So I think that's perfectly okay. I think that's perfectly okay. And so yes, that's what I would do. So thank you for that. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up strong. 20 seconds to live. Last segment. Here we go. All right, welcome back to No Nonsense Market Domination. I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. Welcome back to please stop doing this when you're networking. Please stop doing this when you are networking. We are in season 4, Network Like a Savage. So it's all about networking. So welcome back to IBGR.Network. This is where we are entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. We help you no matter what stage of business you are in, whether you are Pre-startup, startup, growth, hockey stick growth, nice and steady. You're moving along to, I don't know, I want to buy a cat and have Zoom meetings all day and retire. But if that's what you want, we can help you. We can help you do that. So come grow with us. We are Profit Radio. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who hung with me today through the ups and downs of live radio. Really appreciate that. We are here every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And it would be great if we had a different banner on our live. So let's change that up real quick. If you go to allthingsdavidwilson.com, you can get a free networking guide. So free networking guide, just go to allthingsdavidwilson.com, put in some information there, and I will send you a free networking guide that will help you network all throughout season 4 and beyond. And that is free. So my gift to you on allthingsdavidwilson.com. And when you go there, you can connect with me in all my socials, all my businesses, all my affiliations, and what have you. So I invite you to come visit me there. All right. Please stop doing this in person. I will say this because a lot of people are getting very antsy. There's a thing now called Zoom fatigue, and Zoom fatigue is definitely real. Zoom fatigue is very real because people are missing out on that personal connection. And people really can't wait to get back in person. I do think it's going to happen soon, and I do think it's going to happen safely. So that's what I'm looking forward to. When we get back to meeting in person, it's this whole meeting online and meeting virtually wasn't really a thing, right? So all of what we've been talking about, what we shouldn't be doing online or shouldn't be doing on LinkedIn, just became more pronounced when we got hit with COVID, right? When we get back in person, we're gonna be doing something we're much more used to doing. We're kind of returning to a sort of a sense of normalcy, if you will. But what you need to stop doing in person or not do in person is kind of related to what you needed to stop doing on Zoom, what you needed to stop doing on LinkedIn. Right? Stop not showing up professionally. Stop being late to meetings. Throw that back out to Zoom. Be on time. Be on time, and on time is not if the meeting starts at 9, be there at 9. On time is if the meeting starts at 9, be there at 8:45. Be there at latest like 8:50, because things can go wrong. As you can see, things can go wrong, and you have to be prepared for what you can't control. You have to be prepared for traffic. You have to be prepared for power outages. You have to be prepared for parking. I tell a lot of those stories in my book, I Hate Networking Events, about there was one time in particular where I was driving. I was perfectly early. I was perfectly early for this particular meeting. I drove about 40 minutes up to downtown Newark, New Jersey. And I got to the parking garage. I pulled up in the garage, and I was getting ready to pay for my parking. I'm thinking I have plenty of time. This is perfect. I pull in, and how much for parking? Oh, it's $6. $6 from now until when I was going to leave. No problem. So I handed him my card, and he handed it back to me, and I said, well, what's wrong with my card? So we don't take credit cards. We only take cash. And I was like, well, I don't have any cash. And he just stared at me. It's like, who cares if you don't have any cash? We don't take credit cards. So I had to go and find an ATM. And as the story goes, I ended up being completely late to the event, even though I was well early, right? But I ended up being completely late. So there's things you can control. There's things you can't control. I wasn't too hard on myself that day, although I drove for blocks looking for an ATM. When I finally found one, and it got into close to being 5 o'clock, and it was just bad. Okay, I want to answer this question that came in because it pertains to this. So Destiny asks, what should I wear when we start meeting in person again? It's a great question. It's repping your brand. You should wear what you wear when you are doing business. You should wear, if you wear a suit, same thing. So if you wore it on Zoom, put bottoms on and wear it in person. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. So if you wore it in Zoom, you should always be representing your industry, representing your brand. So whether if your company culture is khakis and a polo shirt, I think that's what you should wear. If your company culture is suit and tie, I think that's what you should wear. There's certain industries that demand certain types of outfits, certain types of attire. If you're walking around proclaiming to have under management, over $1 billion worth of assets, jean shorts and flip-flops probably is not a great idea. It's probably not a great idea. That's not playing the part. And I'm not saying that we should judge a book by its cover, but cut off jean shorts. Come on, we can do better than that. We can do better than that. It brings me to a story. We'll close out what to do in person. This is a funny story. This really happened, true story. And this happened way back in the 90s up in Jersey to a friend of mine. So this friend of mine was in the financial sector, business financial sector, and he was invited to a business networking event in at some downtown rooftop restaurant. There's a point to this story. Downtown rooftop restaurant, and it was the if I recall what he told me, because it wasn't me, it was my friend. If I recall what he told me, it was the NIE. Now, NIE is an acronym, the National Association of Yoga Instructors. And for whatever reason, this is true. For whatever reason, he wanted to be connected to yoga instructors. Now, this is true. Follow me with this. So he goes, now, mind you, he's in finance. So financial, business financial. So I had on my friend had on his suit and tie, and he goes out to this event. Gets there early, parks, had plenty of time, and he goes upstairs to the rooftop restaurant. And he says, I'm here for the networking event. And the person led him out to the rooftop where the NIE event was being held. And here's what happened. So this is something that we have to consider when we're going to networking events in person. And this is just a little takeaway before we break out until next week. Long story short, he got there, and everybody was dressed like they were yoga instructors, right? They were dressed like they were in workout gear, very casually. And here's this cat in a suit and tie. Now, how could that have been prevented? Just ask. So think about, be intuitive about where you're going. So rooftop, outside, who's in this group, and what you should be wearing that would be the only exception, I think, to repping your brand. If that so far deviates from what your brand is, maybe try something different and when in Rome, right? And do what the Romans do. And I went back in the bathroom, changed, put on some yoga pants. So what can I tell you? Thank you, everyone. No Nonsense Market Domination. I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. We will see you next week. Same time, same station. All right. So that's it. We are done. Good segment, I think. So my apologies. I am pretty. I am my own worst critic, my own harshest critic, and I apologize very sincerely for what happened in the first segment, because I aim to put out a very solid, meaningful product, and I take full responsibility for whatever happened. We'll figure it out, but that is not acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable. So I apologize to you. I hope that you will stick with me next week. I believe next week's show is a savvy segment show, so that's where we will talk about. We might throw in some of the comments that we had from today. So we might talk about Jimmy from LinkedIn. We might talk about, let's see, people taking pictures of themselves before the meeting and then uploading it. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I appreciate you all being with me. I will do better next week. And that's it. So that's just me. That's what I want for you guys, and I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate you being here. I do, and I need to be better than that. So whatever happened, maybe I could control it, maybe I couldn't control it, but as business owners, as leaders, we're responsible for the things that happen, whether it's something we can control or not. And I think that's the big takeaway from what happened today. But one of the tips that I gave on, I think it was an interview I did with Black Entrepreneurs Institute. They asked me, so what is one tip that you can give to business owners that you live by, and that is have a short memory. So remember and then forget it. So I'll remember that this happened, and then I'll just forget it, and I won't think about it again. But I will remember it so that it doesn't happen again, right? So that's the big takeaway. Thank you, everyone. It's a little after 4. Jump back on to IBGR to listen to, I believe we have Bill Eastman is next, and we will see you. We will see you next week on IBGR, and we'll see you here next week on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, Twitter, and on Twitch. So I believe we had listeners everywhere. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thanks for being with me, and we'll see you next time.